Hey guys, it's Ian Myles here, your executive dating coach from Karma Lifestyles. Now, what do you do when you desire that long-term relationship, but you cannot maintain a relationship? Well, look, that was a dilemma of our guest today. And Russell is actually part of our residential training program. And last month marks 1 year since he completed that program. Now, the training during his time had changed a bit because of the pandemic, okay, all that stuff that was going on, and the new social restrictions that were in play. But he completed the program, and I'm so humbled that he's here with us today to really share his amazing story. So yeah, welcome to the show, Russell.
Well, first of all, I gotta say thank you, Ian, for it's been a journey that we did together, and it's been truly kind of an enlightening experience in many ways.
Wow, I can't believe it's been a whole year since you've completed that residential training program. Now, saying that out loud confirms how quickly time flies when you're having loads of fun and at such an incredible speed. It feels like recently that I went out with you and we did all of those infield trainings, and I remember I winged you, and it was such an interesting time. It was such a crazy time that we had together.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I can go on and on about this, but what I want us to do right now is I want you to introduce yourself to our Karma TV family. Go through your journey a little bit and basically tell us how the program contributed to you and contributed to a change in your lifestyle.
Well, how can I put it? For me, I always been the shy guy in many ways, and it's always been kind of a challenge for me to interact and create a lasting relationship with the people that I liked and I wanted to check out, see and kind of have an experience with, and I always noticed that the first part wasn't the most difficult one, but then after a little while I would kind of struggle to connect and in a way to understand the other person in the way they wanted to be seen. Shortly after the first couple of days, things would start to come up, and I guess in many ways I kind of struggled really to connect to the other person in the way that I wanted to, possibly because I think I was afraid of being vulnerable.
Right. Okay.
And connecting in a really meaningful way. So I found that in many ways I kind of had to build up this persona that had to kind of fulfill the certain expectations, right, of what a man's gonna be like. And beneath all that, I always felt that whoever was in front of me did not really get to see who I was, and maybe because of that, this is why the relationship couldn't go further, because what they were seeing was not was just kind of a not really
wasn't the real you, the authentic you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the scariest things I think that we all have is to kind of be who you really are, show yourself as you are, and then not being accepted or loved, right? That's what kind of terrified me in the first place.
I think a lot of people, a lot of guys out there, they have the same experience.
Yeah.
They suffer from the same experience.
And I mean, this is what you guys taught me. That the confidence, it's about be willing to be who you are. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, and kind of just be present and show up. And learn accept things as they happen. It's like, I think now my own responsibility when I'm dating is to be truthful. To just be open and obviously have a good time. that's the idea, because nothing can go anywhere if people are not enjoying themselves and enjoying their time together.
Yeah. So if we roll back the clock a bit, like, let's go back to the past, right? Before you did all of these trainings with us, right? Let's say that we had like a scale, one being the lowest, 10 being the highest, right? On this scale, where would you have felt your confidence was on this scale? Was it very low, or
It was in the minus.
Okay,
I mean, it's always been a bit difficult for me. I mean, I remember at the very beginning, I wouldn't even be able to ask a girl out, You know, it was kind of like, and these days you got so many ways. You got, you know, messaging and things.
Online dating.
So they can kind of protect you from that.
Yeah.
But I remember I always really kind of was frustrated by the fact that, you know, I would always love to be that guy that just, you know, walks up to somebody and, you know, not in a creepy way or, you know, you got a lot of those, but, you know, it just kind of be in your own element, you know, kind of be at ease.
Relaxed. Yeah.
And I never could do that really. So in the beginning, so that was the thing that kind of you know, affected me the most. And then, you know, I used to get a lot in my head, you know,
Okay.
kind of like thinking things through, and it was just the wrong place. And mindset to be in, I think.
Yeah.
And we worked on that. And
we'll talk about that.
And so yeah, I mean, so to answer your question, yeah, I mean, when I first started, I would say it was definitely just, you know, the opposite of confident, I would say.
Right. Before we get going, can you just tell the viewers how old you are and what is it that you do?
I'm 27 years old.
Okay.
And work in corporate business. And I'm originally from Italy. So yeah, you know, kind of moving from Italy to here was quite a transition for me.
I can imagine.
In many ways, culturally and even in the dating aspect, you know, because, you know, obviously Italian girls and women were kind of had different kind of patterns and a different kind of cultural background.
Right.
And sometimes because of that, sometimes I kind of struggle to connect with people here, because, you know, we would have know different music, you know, we would know different things, like different movies and whatnot. So it was kind of a transition that took a bit of time in that sense. And I was completely, I had no idea where to start with, you know, what would be interesting to them, you know, what would they expect me to do, you know, what was the, you know, what's the costume here, like, am I supposed to cover the first date, you know, or things like that, you know, or like just the basic kind of behavioral patterns and actions that you're expected to show. And their meaning that they have kind of changes in many ways, you know. In Italy we're very friendly, you know. We're very open. We gesticulate a lot. We're very in a lot of ways. I noticed that here they're not so you know, open even to like, you know, in Italy we would kiss, do things like that. I remember at times when I would do this here, it was like, what you going for, you know?
Strange looks,
in a sense, you know, things like that, you know, that would make things more complicated, because then I kind of started to doubt, you know, what should I do and what should I not do? So yeah, in the end it was just a matter of kind of learning these, you know, dating basics that work in any environment, in any culture, in any place. And once I learned those, it was much easier, because, you know, it was not necessarily like having a blueprint that I would just follow. Like, I would still be able to be me, but then I would have this kind of reference point, that would help me and make me feel like, you know, I was kind of like, I had some kind of structure in what I was doing, while of course there was still room for me to be spontaneous and be who I am. And the same for the other person, you know.
It's interesting. It's almost like a universal language. Your universal language, which you can use in Italy and in the UK, and in the US, anywhere.
The language of love.
The language of love.
Yeah. Being Italian, I should know something about that. But no, yeah, I mean, it's and it's great, because we also live in a time now that, you know, there's a lot of different cultures, but we're all coming together and mixing in so many ways all over the world, you know. Depends, especially in the big cities, especially in a place like London, you know. So I think it's really important to know how to have the skills and the ability to connect to any culture. That opens up a whole plethora of kind of possibilities for you, for anyone really.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
So I think it's, I'll say it, and I believe it now, you know, that dating is a skill for sure. So like all skills, it's something that you can learn, and of course you have to fail and make mistakes and try things out, but then ultimately you start to see that some things tend to always, you know, there's a reason why some things, you know, work better than others. So to kind of access that information can really help you out and save you from a lot of embarrassing moments. You know.
Yeah, and it's good that you're impressed with yourself 1 year down the line, and you know that really gives me some pride for myself as a mentor, being a coach. And you came in as a completely different person. So can you please share with us, share with the family, your dating and your relationship experience before you'd come to the program, and what was it? More importantly, what was it that really inspired you and gave you that that Eureka moment to start the program and come onto this training?
Well, for me, the beginning was a bit difficult because I was kind of in a very unhappy place, and I just felt like I lacked something, and I couldn't figure out quite what it was in that sense, and I would struggle to be in a relationship past a certain point. Sometimes it was commitment issues, I would kind of struggle to commit and to kind of take things further. Sometimes there would just I would just feel this kind of distance between me and the other person, and they would feel it as well. So sometimes it would just be me running away or them breaking up with me. I had people sometimes telling me that they couldn't figure out really who I was. In many ways, I was kind of closed up, and I think that connects to the kind of fear of being vulnerable. To kind of let somebody in. It's not an easy thing to do. In many ways, there's a lot of trust and a lot of openness that you need to have to create a proper loving relationship with someone.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, none of these things were things that I knew at the time. I had to learn from my own experience, but experience can be painful at times.
Yeah.
So I wish I had some kind of guidelines, something that would help me kind of understand why I would do and think, about things and do things in a certain way, and this has helped me a lot in that sense to kind of analyze and have almost like a mirror in front of me where I could analyze my own behavior, understand a little better what I was struggling with.
Great. Okay. And how did you specifically find out about the program? Were you one of the guys who used to follow us on our social media? Or
I think I found you guys on YouTube actually.
Okay, right.
It popped up on a video and on the feed one day, I was like looking up, and this was the other thing. I struggled so much because I just couldn't. I was ashamed to even go, kind of look up dating coach stuff like that, because I just kind of it's as if. In my mind, it was if you take that step, then it's almost as if admitting that you cannot,
it's kind of pride thing, isn't it?
And then you realize that just even the way I kind of wired it in my mind didn't much really make any sense, because there's only what you know and what you don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong in kind of trying to understand yourself a little better and trying to understand people a little better.
Yeah.
In these contexts as well. I mean, dating is a very complicated thing. It can be, and in that sense,
changing all the time is what
evolving,
always
and evolving, and you got to be able to be there and respond to what's happening in front of you. And if you are locked up and all stuck within your mind and in your heart, then it doesn't really bring things forward in the way that I would have loved to reach. Yeah, I mean, from then on, I looked you guys up and I checked out the first few videos, and I liked what I was seeing. A lot of things kind of made sense right off the bat. So I was like, all right, let me give a go to this, And then I came on your website and I saw the reviews and everything, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And then we met, and we hit it right off the bat.
Everything else is history.
We had our own love story going on, the brothership, the brotherhood. So I would never expect I would find the best wingman from this.
It was, at the end of the day, it was all you. You did all the hard. You showed up.
Thank you.
You put in all the hard work, and you got the results.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Right. So when I first met you a while ago, you told me that you were unhappy, you were lonely, and you couldn't maintain that healthy relationship before the program. And now what I'm seeing is that you're in a happy relationship. So when was that turning point when you said to yourself, you know what, this is not working, and I need to do something about it, and I need another approach, another system?
Well, that happened basically when the last relationship from that time kind of failed, and then I realized that I could see that the same patterns were happening over and over again.
Right.
That's when I started to realize that there is such a thing as pattern, that there is such a thing as, you know, decision making, and certain decision choices lead you to different, in many ways to the same results.
Yeah.
So as it started to happen over and over, I started to realize, okay, how am I following the same patterns, and how can I break out of them? And a lot of that was kind of connected to the fact that a lot of my decisions and choices mostly came from a place of fear, you know. And fear, it's something that, you know, obviously it's useful because it's in our nature to protect us from certain situations. But it can also make your life a living hell in many ways, because it can really inhibit you and not allow you to come through as you wanna come through, you know, in everything you do, whether it's relationships or your job or anything really. I mean, these kind of things apply to all aspects of life. So yeah, and from that point on, I just had to kind of, you know, do a little bit of self-assessment and take a look at myself and understand, you know, what was working and what wasn't, and this is what we went through. An extensive work that really helped me out finding my own way and finding who I was and who I wanted to be in a relationship, and why certain things in me would kind of lead relationships in the way that they went. And since I kind of started working on that, and, you know, now I've been in a relationship for a few months, as
Excellent.
you know, and it's going well. It's already, there's a different feel to it already that I've noticed. And the main thing is just I'm able to communicate much more effectively. Right. And also to help the other person communicate with me, because the work and the things that I've learned that help me also, you know, obviously help others as well. So sometimes in many ways I find myself that I can effectively communicate with my partner now, and we're very clear about what we want, and we're very happy together in that sense. And it's kind of a process of self-discovery for both of us, and in many ways we're growing together, which I think is the most important thing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And yeah, I know it's all about just helping each other improve, really, in many ways. But first, you gotta figure out your own shit.
You're gonna invite me to that wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be my best friend. So yeah, you know, it's. I think it's about working on yourself first, and that way you can also help the other person and be there to support them, which is a lot of what a relationship is about. It's that, you know, it's about supporting the other person and see them through, and they do the same for you. But at first, you gotta know who you are in order to do that. And you also gotta be able to communicate without fear, with honesty, from a place of love, and sometimes vulnerability. And that way, I think it's the way that works for me now.
Okay.
And I think it's the way that, in many ways, it's the only way that these things work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's key right there, right? You want to get the success that you want. Okay, not the success that someone else wants. And when you're completely honest, you know, with yourself, you notice the things that you need or the things that you don't need, and how it is to make it better for yourself.
Yeah.
So, Russell, you've gone through heartbreak, and, you know, you've been genuine with yourself on what needs to be fixed, right? So can you tell us, what was your journey like?
And yeah, I mean, I felt in a very confused place in many ways, and one day YouTube suggested your video.
Right, great.
And that's how I became a fan right off the bat. And I tried some of the dating tips that you guys were giving there, and I noticed instantly a different feel to it. And because in a way, kind of having a structure, having a plan really helped me in that sense too, to kind of be confident and trust myself a bit more.
Great. So let me just clarify for the viewers. You tried several things that you saw online, and you read in certain books, but they weren't always working. Then you heard about the residential training program, and then you decided to sign up. Okay. So what was your expectation at the time when you were signing up to the program?
Well, at first I thought you guys had all the solutions, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of really committed to the training and did it over and over until I felt like I was kind of starting to apply some of those points. And, you know, I was looking for a woman that I could go home with and plan a life with, you know, kind of build something together. You know, and I was hoping that the program would kind of show me how to get over the fear of commitment.
Okay.
Which is what I kind of struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. You know, you had a positive mindset coming into the program, okay? So what can you say about the actual experiences that you had during the training? How could you describe that?
Well, I had a very good coach. And, you know, it made things appear in a way simple and easy to understand for me and easy to apply.
Okay.
And
so not complex.
No, not at all. Which I think was one of the best things about this program. Just kind of like it was very hands-on. You know, it was not too complicated or too. It had obviously a psychological basis behind it and behavioral science, but it really kind of provided me with very simple notions that I could understand and apply right away. In that sense.
Great. And how did you find the people that you work with? Like, I mean, you know, I coached you, but how did you find the other staff?
I mean, I found you guys very supportive from the beginning. You were very discreet. You were very, you know, in a way, I sensed the genuine care from you guys, which really helped in many ways. And to be honest, I mean, even in the times that I struggled, you kind of helped me pull through the task and complete them and commit to them, because again, commitment wasn't my my skill, you know, my strongest trait, let's put it that way, in relationships and even in the program. So you really helped me to stick to it and motivated me, and I think the support that I received in that sense was phenomenal. And yeah, that's why I would recommend you guys.
I'm so glad to hear.
Yeah, you know, it was an emotional journey for me as well, because a lot of this work kind of consisted with me facing myself and facing my own insecurities and facing my own fears, which at times can, you know, which at first can be painful. It's not an easy or pleasant thing to do, but once you get through it, man, the whole world just opens up to you, you know.
Yeah.
And then you're glad you went through what you had to in order to, you know, grow and become a better person. And there was a lot to learn in that aspect, you know, from psychology, dating psychology, behavioral psychology, and you know, how to communicate effectively. Your body language, well, that's an important one.
Yeah.
You know, how you present yourself.
And a lot of people don't even realize that.
No,
right? Yeah.
Not at all. Most, I mean, even I'm sure we're just completely unaware of what we're doing with our bodies. Sometimes our bodies tell what's really going on inside of us.
Yeah,
so to be aware of that, I think, is one of the greatest practices that you guys have taught me, to kind of pay attention to how I carry myself and how my body was acting in a certain situation, and how to kind of, you know, master that.
Wow, that's truly amazing. You know, and you've mentioned that you had help, and you sometimes thought that you wouldn't complete certain tasks that were set for you. So what can you say was challenging for you, or most challenging for you during the training?
Well, the most challenging part, I would say, was to kind of face my my fears, and my own insecurities, and you know, kind of, I was always scared to commit, and this training kind of provided me with a blueprint where I kind of could hold myself accountable and be aware of the choices that I was making and what I was doing, and kind of be clear about what I wanted and what I did not want, and then behave according to that.
And in what ways can you say that the program, you know, has changed your life?
Well, I'm more confident to begin with, and with the decisions I make, I kind of stick to them now. You know, I definitely commit to what I decide to do, and it really changed my perception in many ways, to kind of, you know, get away from the kind of negative mindset. You know, always assuming that things would go wrong, and, you know, something would not go the way I was hoping it to go, and sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. You overcome that fear, and you learn how to deal with whatever situation is in front of you, and the knowledge of you being able to do that, I think it's the most important achievement that you can have in this sense. Yeah.
So do you think that there's been some kind of like spillover into perhaps like professional arais of your life?
Yeah, not just in dating, in any order. Hell, my work life improved. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But you know, every area of my life really. I found this principle could be applied to. You know, I think it's just a matter of like how you carry yourself through the world, really. So yeah.
Because there are so many parts of our lives where we're communicating, you know, whether it's at the workplace, with friends, and even family members.
Absolutely.
And, when that communication can be clear, then, you know, we can understand ourselves.
I mean, I think communication is at the basis of everything, you know. Mm-hmm. Everything you do, every time, at your work, at home, with your family, with your dog, with your girlfriend, you're always communicating. So why wouldn't you want to learn how to be the most effective in communicating?
Absolutely. Right, Russell, so the $1 million question is, would you recommend the residential training program to anyone?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, it goes without saying that. I mean, from my own experience, because that's all I can speak from, this has completely changed my life. And it's helped me, you know, kind of improve my dating life, my relationships. But not just there, you know, it kind of branched out to my work life as well, you know, to kind of like even communicate in a better way with my family, with my friends, with people, you know, new people that I will meet in my own life. So, I mean, because again, these skills that you learn can be transferable to almost anything, really. So absolutely recommend this 100% because I think this is something anybody could benefit from. I really don't think, you know, it's something, I mean, some people are natural communicators, but even in that situation, I think they would still benefit from this. Anyone would. And it's just a question of kind of realizing that this is available to you, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, probably see this thing, they're like, oh God, you know, some, you know,
scam or something.
Yeah, either that or just kind of like, I don't need that, you know. Okay. It's just like, but then when you think this actually helps you to become more of yourself, because it's also a process of self-discovery. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you recommend this to anybody? So that's where I stand on this. So yeah, to answer your question, 100%.
Well guys, there you have it. You've heard it straight from Russell. Fear is a feeling that can protect you, but it can also destroy you when you don't master how to manage it properly. Now, I believe that anyone can achieve the happiness, the thrill, and the improvement that Russell has here, and even getting those romantic relationships, you know? Now, you might not be comfortable with where you are today in your romantic life, but now you have the power to do something about it. So guys, by all means, click on that link right down below in the video's description box, right down below, and then you'll find out more about the residential training program. Now, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank Russell here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. And yeah, we've had a great time. I hope you've enjoyed his story, and you know, I want to thank him for sharing his story. I actually feel really inspired and motivated that I know people, you know, are making true changes in their lives. All right, guys, today you were joined by Ian Myles, your executive dating coach at calmerlifestyles.com, and I'll see you next time.